This is the first four books of Sahih Bukhari, the most reliable of Sunnism. Hadith 260. The Prophet took a bath of janaba, which is sexual relation or wet dream, so washing off the semen, and basically all these pages are about that, how the Prophet washed off semen, so you should do it that way too. But check this out. You know how I told you about how I think it's the surah of women, you're only allowed to have 4 wives. As long as you can take care of all 4 of them, you can have 4 wives. If you can only take care of one of them, you can only have 1 wife. Well, it says here, narrated by, it says, Anas bin Malik said, the Prophet used to visit all his wives in and around during the day and night, and they were 11 in number. I asked Anas, had the Prophet the strength for it? Anas replied, we used to say that the Prophet was given strength of 30 men. And Sa'd said, on the authority of Qatada, that Anas had told him about 9 wives only, not 11. 9 or 11. The Sunnah basically says Muhammad, he really likes sex, and he really likes decapitating people, and he actually likes raping women. So that means Muhammad is not just the messenger of God, he's not a prophet, he actually is higher than God. He can abrogate things. See, the Quran existed in paradise on a table forever, for all eternity. And it existed before the creation of the world. So, from time immemorial, man is only allowed to have 4 wives. But Muhammad, well, he can have, 9 or 11 and, have sex with them all the time. The Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, and the Sirah literature is obsessed with sex and violence. And it really is creepy. One of the earliest Sunni poets was a homosexual and wrote about pedophilia with young boys. I'm not making that up. His name escapes me right now. But read the Quran. You're probably not going to like Surah Al-Tawbah or Al-Anfal. Surah 9 you're really not going to like. Some might not like Al-Baqarah, the cow or the heifer. It's Surah 2. But read the Quran and then check out Sahih Bukhari. Just the first 2 volumes. There's 4 volumes here. Just the first 2. Or read Sirat Rasulullah, which is not written by Ibn Ishaq. There was a book written by Ibn Ishaq. Apparently it's non-existent, but it's the Recension by Ibn Hisham, who took out a lot of stuff. And it has Muhammad embracing polytheism, the goddesses Alat, Manat, and Al-Uzza, to save his own skin. And it has him receiving revelation as if, just to get himself out of a jam. It's funny because there's only one other group of people who has these weird oral traditions that nobody heard of before, and that's Talmudic Judaism. And the two places where they grew up was in Sestafan and Surah, and that's the place where this kind of stuff grew up. Now, I would be skeptical if 300 years later somebody said, well, I heard from somebody who was told this, who was told by this person, who was told by this person, who was told by this person, for 300 years. I would be skeptical. I mean, the people who wrote, Bukhari is laughing his ass off at every Sunni Muslim, from beyond the grave. He's laughing because he's got you all suckered. You actually believe that a game of telephone 300 years later and again, Quran onlyism, you can't be a Quran onlyist because you need to accept the Torah, the Gospel, and the Psalms of David. It's commanded in the Quran. And can there be a caliphate? No. The caliphs were established, and then it collapsed. But don't worry, the Sunnis will fix that. They'll have another final prophet. Maybe they'll come up with the Quran part 2. Just is ridiculous. You hear these idiots like Yusuf Estes and Joshua Evans and these jerks, these stupid converts. If you're a monotheist, that's all you need. Sunnism is not monotheism. It's superstition, and when you get down to it, it's polytheism, and it's the worship of a man. And any prophet would slap you across the face if he knew you were worshiping him.